Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Strange Origins podcast. It's episode 44.
Hello again,
We're
guys.
back. It feels like a long time because we haven't done a Thursday episode anymore because of Marvel.
Yeah, it kind of like with it's almost like I lost a job for some reason.
yeah, yeah. We should probably do something to fill that gap. you know?
Fill my void.
Yeah, fill the void. But
But,
yeah. So, how's your week been? I get go there first.
oh shit, nice. My week's been okay. It's just like I suffered from this fucking heat.
Oh,
Like I
I
was,
mean, I know we talk about the weather a lot, but like, I mean, we're British, all right, so leave us alone.
yeah,
But
exactly,
literally,
yeah.
like, fucking, it's heat wave, flood, heat wave, lightning, flood. It's like, what's going on? Yeah, I don't understand. What's happening?
Yeah, it was just like especially. Actually, no, I didn't mind today because it was like a long-awaited
Today there was flooding.
rain. Yeah, there was definitely flooding. In
Yeah.
my garden, there was literally flooding. We had to
Oh my
step in
god.
fucking garden water or some shit. And it's just like, damn.
With like Stockwell Station was flooded, like so it was closed. There was a couple other
Damn.
stations that was closed as well.
I think
So
I think the roads in Barking are closed as well. So
yeah, it's literally
pretty
like
fucking madness.
I've never seen in all my life, in all my years, I've never seen flooding in like London. Like, that doesn't happen. So
Again, it's long overdue, man. Like
you think?
it's probably all that heat that that we're being punished for because like we normally don't get heat that much in like a week, like so like
Yeah.
they were like, oh, here you go, you're gonna get slapped with fucking thunder and flooding.
I saw a meme actually. Like it was like a picture of Jesus, and
Oh.
he was like, I keep sending them floods and hurricanes, but they keep masturbating. I don't understand.
God.
It's like punishing them for their sins.
Yeah, Jesus. But other than the weather, I've been good. I've I've managed to like do some client work
Yeah, you were
and
doing
also
some freelance work, right?
yeah, I did some freelance work and also I managed to get a job
Oh
as
yeah.
a Q&A tester for this gambling game app. It's basically like so like for like Call of Duty and other games like competitive. It's like you put money in and you gamble who's gonna win, and it's just like
It's sort of like it to me because you've explained it before. It kind of sounds like the brainchild of like a 14-year-old who was like 1v1 me, bro.
yeah,
And he's
exactly.
just like, oh no, like okay, let's do it, but let's put some money on it. Like it's literally just
Yeah,
it sounds like some guy is just like, I'm gonna do that.
it literally is. It literally honestly is. And then like, luckily I don't have to pay. So and it's just like no one is even on it. Like I went on it like the other day for like at least a couple hours to report some bugs, and I was literally in queue for like 2 hours,
Oh my
and there
god.
was no one there, and because I have to stay there for at least an hour of
So
my life.
do you get paid
So
like if you like don't even get into a game?
okay, so this is how crazy this is, right? Okay, so let me give a little my pay breakdown.
Hmm.
So, for example, I play like Call of Duty, Blackout, Rocket League, League of Legends. 4 games, right? It doesn't matter how many games I get into. I'm only getting paid for those 4 games a
Right.
month, and the pay is literally garbage.
Oh no.
But I'm just there. I'm literally just there to get some fucking experience. That's
Yeah.
literally it.
So you could say you've done it.
Yeah. So the pay is so I'm not even getting paid by match. I'm getting paid per game I'm playing. So like I'm getting paid like I say was it $3? $3 per game. So 4 games, that's like what? Fucking £9 or £12, right? And converted to pounds, it's like it's a tenner a month. That's literally
Wait.
my fucking pay.
So it's regardless of how many games you get into in a day.
Yeah,
So
it
you
doesn't
could do
matter.
one game, like you could play one match, or you could play 100 matches. You still get the same pay.
Yes.
What's the fucking point then? I don't understand
Like
the,
legit.
these dodgy jobs, man.
Like it's fucking like horrible.
So
Like
what's the goal here? Like, what you like? You want to get the experience here to do other QA testers, or
so I want to hopefully get so there because there's a lot of other apps out there that's like looking for like Q&A testers, but like this is luckily enough the one that gave me like an opportunity to gain experience while getting paid,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
'Cause I know like
So
QA testers, like when I was doing my game design course, like
yeah,
QA testers are like the lowest sort of like entry level you can get into, so you can get into the game industry, and that's
yeah,
like where a lot of people start off because they can sort of like, you don't need any qualifications to play a game, and you
yeah,
could just bug report. It's not really that like
yeah, exactly.
yeah. So like it makes sense why you're going that path, but I'd say
Yeah,
you actually got like a head up on most people because you know some animation and you know like art. So you
yeah,
could literally go for graphics like in that field. I know you've got no experience, but you do have the talent.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like one of those things where it's like it's I guess it's there's so many people casting their net that it's really hard to catch it, isn't it?
It's really hard
Mm.
for you to be caught back in there because it's either you conform to a certain style that every company is going for, or you branch out and become like a freelancer. Which like a freelancer, even that for some reason you need like at least 2 or 3 years experience because
Yeah.
they're not just gonna give you, oh, by the way, here's money and you have zero experience and you're gonna be asking for a certain amount of pay, and like if you don't deliver, like
Well, yeah. I mean,
is it your fault because you don't have any experience, or is it
because I
did they
did
give
my game testing like oh not game testing it was game designer I did like
yeah.
uni course for about I did it for about a year and a half, and then I realized
Mm,
like this is gonna suck every joy out of playing games for me.
yeah.
Like, and luckily like the designer section of game design is or games is actually like a little bit more exciting. Like
Mm,
game developing is doing code and doing like
yeah.
Python, C++, all that stuff, right?
Or
But
math, basically.
I don't want to do that, and I was like, I don't want to do that. But if you're a game designer, you have to learn the bare minimum. So you have
Yeah.
to understand the process. And game design also comes up with the story and the whole
Yeah.
concept and all that stuff. But once you've come up with it, this is the way it works, right? It's like it's so much like a business now. Once the game designer comes up with the concept,
Mm,
they hand that off to the developers, and that's it. They don't touch
yeah.
the game again. That's it.
Yeah.
So
And then
you could pitch the idea for like a Mario sort of clone where you go through the city and you collect like stars, right?
yeah.
And then at the end it would be a fucking cat simulator where where you like go around and it's 3D, it's open world now, and it's like your baby's just
Jesus.
changed. It's just got the same
Yeah.
name. That was
Yeah.
my biggest issue with it as well as I wouldn't see my games be put to creation.
Yeah.
And when I was studying as well, like the main drive, you don't understand, man. The main drive was like mobile games. Fucking
Oh,
forget doing games like on
exactly.
console, go for mobile games. And it was just like I
Yeah.
don't want to do a mobile game, but everyone wanted the next Flappy Bird because it was low budget, low like effort,
Yeah.
multi-million like pounds.
Exactly. And it's like I think was it Blizzard that kind of had like the same approach, and everyone was just they did not like the whole Diablo being on
Well,
mobile.
that's a slightly different issue because
Mm,
with Blizzard, the reason they did this is because of of China. They
yeah.
literally like the biggest market for mobile games is Asia. Everyone
Mm,
plays mobile games over there. Like even when I went to Philippines, like everyone played Dota on mobile. Everyone played like this really fucking. It was literally a fake league. Like I was playing. I played like one game on Mark's cousin's phone, and it
yeah.
was literally like, oh, that's Zed ult. Oh, that's Ash ult. Oh, that
Yeah.
it's literally all there's exactly the same. Like, oh, there's the Shadow guy. Like, there's this, there's that, and it's just a clone. But because they didn't have League on mobile yet,
Yeah.
everyone was playing that. Now League, oh God, now League's on mobile. That everyone's playing it over there.
So they're pretty much they're basically pretty much hitting every
They
platform
make
out
so
there.
much money as well on mobile
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
it's easier to develop. Like consoles
Mm,
charge you a premium to put your game on their console. Same with
yeah.
Steam. Steam takes a cut. Like
Yeah.
every game like that you see like they don't make that much money. Like a
Mm.
lot of games like have to spend a lot of money to make money basically.
Not yeah. Not and that's just like not even putting the cost of like advertising.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
advertising takes a lot. Like
Like
I think when I was like, gone, sorry.
I was just gonna say like paying you got to pay everybody that's in the process, and then you got
Yeah.
to pay everyone outside the process. So
Mm.
yeah.
But I was gonna say because like I did when I was doing animation in uni, I was like from like my last I think last course in second year, I was
Yeah.
basically developing a game, right? And then for me to pass to get basically an A star, is I need to put my game out there to be tested, and I basically had to put it out there, and like, so I made a game which is basically like, oh, you just go around collecting this thing. I basically did the coding, the graphic design,
Yeah.
everything, right? And like, I literally had to put it in the fucking market,
Yeah.
Apple and Android, and they both charge differently. Like
Right. Yeah.
Android, they charge you like 50 quid to put it up there,
Yeah.
and Apple charges you like 80 quid.
Yeah. Apple was ridiculous.
And I'm like, holy shit, I need to do this to pass a grade. I'm literally wasting this much money to just pass a grade. I had to, and then after I passed it, I had to take it down.
Wow.
But as I'm saying, it's like literally the fee that you have to pay. But if it takes off,
Yeah.
you're pretty much set.
You are
So
exactly.
it's like,
But there's so many mobile games out there. Like,
exactly.
and
So,
my biggest problem as well was anything. I had to basically sign this waiver because the course that I was doing was partnered with Microsoft.
okay.
And I had to basically sign a waiver, which was like any game I do create,
Yeah.
they get to have. So anything I make on it, any money that I make on it, it's theirs legally. They'll pay me, and I'll get a cut of it, but they get the majority cut. So that's what they're doing. They're basically signing up and training new prospects because they pay for the course. It's no interest. So technically, I paid for the course because it was a loan, but it was a no interest loan, and it was partnered with Microsoft, so you get a chance of getting, some foothold in the games industry. But at the same time, anything you do make from like I think it was like the next 5 years is theirs. And it's just like, well, why would that gives me no motivation to do this.
Yeah, exactly. And you wonder why people want to just want to start their own companies, because you have this big company who basically just use and abuse people, and
Yeah.
because it's Microsoft, you can't really compete.
Oh god, no!
Like,
you get
like,
bought out. There's no way.
Exactly. So it's like,
One of the people on my course actually made a mobile game, and instantly got approached by Microsoft because the game was getting some traction. He left the course, by the way, just to make that clear, because they didn't own it anymore. He left the course, made his own game because he didn't want Microsoft owning it. Microsoft then came to him and said, "We'll give you 100 grand if we can have that game." He sold it. He just got rid of it. He was just like, "Fuck it, yeah, why not?" And he just made 100k. Like a game, I don't even know what the fucking game was. It's probably some shitty Candy Crush clone. But there was so many people on my course that were doing that. They were just doing mobile games.
yeah,
Because it's again, as I said, it's a low budget, low effort, like costs. That's all you got to do. It's not hard. Plus, you can charge microtransactions. Everybody plays mobile games. Like even gamers to non-gamers, like everyone plays mobile games.
Yeah.
Everyone's heard of Candy Crush. Everyone's heard of these like Raid Shadow Legends and all that shit. Like they've heard of
that
it.
fucking game. Holy shit! It's just advertised everywhere.
And even like some games now that are popping off, like Genshin Impact. Like Genshin Impact's played on console, but it's mobile. It's a gacha game.
yeah,
Like, so like it's actually kind of crazy like how much mobile games are popping off because they're like sort of advertised as this free game, so it's free.
So like,
like
I was like watching this streamer. I think a few streamers, and like, you know how Genshin came out with a new patch, right?
yeah
A new update and everything. So they got like new world, and it's like, so they were complaining that it's basically there's so much dialogue so far into the content that there's not enough fight and they're getting bored from it. Right? But my counter thing is like, if you think about it this way, right? Like they have to spend all that time so you don't get bored, so that game, it will still be relevant no matter how bad
this is the thing
it's released, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say like with Genshin, like games. So for anyone who doesn't know, Genshin Impact is like it's sort of like anime game where you can't get characters in a normal way. Like you can get them free. You can get free boxes, and you might get a chance. It's kind of like a loot box system, or you can also pay money and get it, which is where they get most of their money from. But it's an open world sort of like quest game. Like you can go around and help other people. You can all do it, right? It's basically a game like in a basic sense of the word, right?
Yeah.
But they've got this new patch at the moment, and people are complaining that it's a little bit too long and it's a little bit dead, basically. But this is my counter to that as well. Genshin, the developers as well, already know if you're playing this patch and you're playing this new expansion, you're too fucking deep.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna stop now.
Exactly.
I've literally got a roommate. I've got Ishak is my roommate, right? He has been sitting there watching something on his phone and just skipping dialogue.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and it's because he likes the game, like, and he likes the game when it's good, like when you're actually doing things. But when it's a cutscene and
yeah,
stuff, he'll listen, but he's doing other things at the same time, like because
yeah,
it's so much filler. But he's so invested in the game already.
yeah. Like
It's kind
Youre
of
Too Deep.
similar. Yeah, it's kind of similar with League of Legends with me and you. We've
Yeah,
already. I won't even say how much we've spent on the game, but like we've already we've already invested so much time and money into that game
yeah,
that when they bring out a new patch and we're like, I fucking hate this game, it's a shit game, but I'm still gonna play it
yeah.
because
Exactly.
because otherwise I've technically just lost like all that
Yeah.
money. It's just gone.
Mm.
Like
Yeah, and also like the one thing people gotta forget is it's a free game. It's a free con.
yeah, you don't have to you don't have to spend money on it, and you don't have to
Yeah,
play it either.
but why I hear is like, oh yeah, but still, it's like it makes me want to grind. I'm like, well, the reason why the point is fillers and stuff is so like when you get to the end, when you eventually get to the end game,
Yeah.
right? You don't get there too quick and you just
Yeah,
lose interest
I
in
mean,
the
if
game.
you get there quick, you'll be like, oh, what the fuck, the game's too short.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And like the reason why that's the reason why they put these fillers.
and
It's
also
because
in a more sinister way. This is my like
oh,
conspiracy hat on,
oh,
but the
oh, Jack.
the the average time spent on a game increases the average amount of money spent. So the longer you spend on the game, the more likely you are to spend money on the game.
Yeah,
That's the reason why this also lasts long. It's like you get to a new section. Oh, you need to grind to level like 30. I could grind for 5 6 hours, but I have a job, so instead I'm gonna
yeah,
buy like stuff to help me get that cut.
yes,
And that's what it is,
yes.
and that's how they get their money. So
And you know the way they hook you in is because the word's free. Like
yeah,
if you want, there's a TV series on Netflix called was it the Dilemma or something like that? I can't
I
remember what
think
it's
so.
called.
Yeah,
And it's like literally the first episode they say is like there is no such thing as free. You are the product.
yeah. I
You
mean,
just go by the
it's true
product.
though. Like, cause you're like you get something for free, like a game, and it doesn't cost money, but it costs time.
Yeah, and
It's the same.
eventually cause you to make pay money
Yeah,
basically.
I mean,
So
there are people, and they're very, very, very minority, but there are people who have not spent money on League of Legends, even though they've done like 2,000 hours in the game. There's a famous
Harry
streamer. I can't remember what I don't remember his name, but
Faker,
is it Faker? It is Faker.
Faker has never bought a skin in that
He's
game.
never so Faker is like this Korean player.
God.
He's like yeah like one of the best League of Legends players in the world. He plays esports, all that stuff. He's professional, but he's as Rod said, he's never spent money on the game.
Yeah.
But again, our argument is that he spent his life on the game, like so.
So like that's literally like because his goal is to be the best in the world, right? But it's like if this game eventually dies out, like what the fuck is he gonna do?
I mean, he's already
Like,
made millions, so.
True, but you can't be great like that for the rest of your life.
But like,
you know,
that's the thing. The game that game will never die out. I don't think. Like not for a while. And if it does, there's plenty of other MOBAs that he could just jump
Yeah.
onto, and he'd probably be just as good. Honestly,
yeah,
like he won't be the best in the world because it's not like that. You can't just go from like Call of Duty to Tarkov and then all of a sudden you're a god. Like it doesn't work like that. But he will definitely have better mechanics than most. Like
yeah, my understanding as well.
yeah. I mean, it's a very game centric episode today. But
Yeah.
honestly, like it was one of the questions I had to ask myself going back to like getting into the gaming industry, of
Yeah.
like, how hard is it to get into this because everyone wants to do it. It's the same with like
It's-
IT and arts and everything like that.
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, it's hard to get into, and
It's brutal.
at the same time, is this something? Do I want to turn my passion into a job?
Yeah,
And there are other like those questions you have to ask yourself because like, for me, like I think Twitch streaming and doing podcasts and YouTube and stuff, they blur the lines between passion and work.
yeah,
So if this say we did like earn money on Twitch or podcasting and stuff, I'd still enjoy doing it, and there would be like an element of like, oh, it's kind of like a job because I've already felt
Yeah.
like that. Like a couple of times when I come home from like a 9 to fucking 5:30 or something job, come home and I'm like, okay, now I got to stream like for
Yeah.
3 hours. It's
yeah.
it's
Oh yeah,
it's
I got to do a podcast.
yeah, or podcast then stream, like, and it's just like it is draining because
Yeah, yeah.
but you know you see times where you don't get to spend time with your your loved ones or your
Yeah.
friends or whatever. So it does take its toll, and there are people, I think yourself included, like stream every day of the week, and I can't do that. Like I
Mm.
physically wouldn't be able to do that. Like with my current situation, like working.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
You know, so
Like,
it's. I was just gonna mention like the mental toll on.
it's
Um,
very draining. It's
it is
very,
because
very
you have to
draining.
always be on, like, and this is something that like most people don't talk about with
Mm.
Twitch, or they've started to talk about it a lot more actually recently.
Very
But
recently, yeah.
but when you're streaming, like, you're 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 performing.
Yeah.
You're trying to be the best you can at the game as well, but you're also
Mm.
trying to interact with other people. It's
Yeah.
in some ways it's a socializing thing.
Yeah. I agree. I
And for
agree.
people like us, I don't want to use the word introvert because it gets thrown around a lot, and I don't. It really does, like, and it kind of jars me a little bit how much people talk about it, and it's not so much introverted. It's just sort of like everyone's got social batteries and charge levels, man. Like, and
Mm.
it I can't like talk to everyone and make conversation with everyone every day because it drains
Yeah.
my levels. So at the same time, when I go into work and I'm talking to the general public and they're all assholes, like
Yeah.
I'm draining my social levels, and then I come home and then I'm
Energy.
streaming and talking to the general public again, and I'm drawing, you know, and then you get to like the 7th, 8th, 14th, 15th day in a row, and you're like, fuck, like
Yeah.
just let me
It's
rest, like
yeah. I'm us again. I'm like I'm like very blessed that like I'm still living at home, but like
yeah,
separate from the main house,
yeah,
and to still have like I still have some income coming is good. But I understand what you're saying. I think when because I'll eventually move out.
yeah, yeah,
And I think when that happens, I'll definitely be maybe streaming less
yeah,
because, again, as you said, everyone has that social battery that needs to be recharged. You know, that's why you see some streamers who would literally go on for like 2 years without any break, and then all of a sudden just out of nowhere, it's like a week or two of rest,
yeah.
nothing. You know, it's just
I
I
mean,
think everyone
yeah,
needs to have that.
you have to. I think. I think streaming every day is unhealthy.
Mm.
I think.
That's if you don't have a job.
I think even if you do have a job, like, and this is not an attack on anyone. I'm just saying
Yeah,
this is my personal take on it.
yeah,
I think putting yourself on a persona and performing every day is jarring to your mental health, and I think
mm,
eventually it will take a toll. Like, and it's some you have to take breaks every, like, you know, you got to schedule them. It's the same as work,
mm,
but you need to take some breaks off
yeah.
and some time off because it we're quite fragile when it comes to mental
Mental
awareness
health.
and the mental health. Yeah, like
Mm.
it's a lot more. A lot more of a balance than people think it is.
Mm.
Um,
I think what sorry, man.
no, go.
I think what people don't understand, especially like because there's two different, right? So like people who watch streamers and people that are streaming, those are two different things.
Yeah,
Like people who watch streaming, you can literally just sit there and just you could literally just be having it in the background and like go on it every now and then.
yeah,
But as a streamer, you need to be performing at like almost 100 to like maybe 200%
yeah,
just to be entertaining, but also producing a fucking gameplay and being attentive to your chat or to your donation, you know,
yeah,
and having that constantly without break. That's as you
yeah.
said,
I mean,
fucking just
and
you're waiting to crash and burn.
there's a couple of other things as well that go through your head when you're streaming as well, like that we've kind of realized is
Mm.
everything that goes through your head is like, if I go and go to the toilet now and get some water, I could be losing views.
Yeah,
I could be losing potential for followers.
yeah,
Um, if I don't talk to the people on in my chat too often, they might just leave. It's all very precarious. It's like you're balancing on a cliff, and it's just
mm.
like every choice you make. Whoops, every choice you make either negatively impacts or positively impacts your success,
Yeah,
and that's like constantly going through your head. And I think with me and
yeah,
you specifically, when we're streaming, and not only when we're streaming, when we're just doing other things. At least for me, I've constantly got like, where I need to record this video, I have to edit this video, I want to upload this other video to turn it into a short, I want to
yeah,
like plan what we want to do on the next podcast, and that's constantly going through my head while I'm at work. Like,
yeah,
and I'm just like, fuck, I don't have time. Like, I'll come home, and like, I think the other day I got sent home from work like just not sent home as in a bad way, but because we had too many people. I was like fucking blessed, so I went home, and I ate and just fell asleep. Because I like my body was like, you are too fucking tired, and I just fell asleep for like 3-4 hours.
There you go. It's fucking mentally drained.
Yeah.
Just
and don't get me wrong,
exist.
like, you know, I chose to do this.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree,
so
I
I'm not
agree.
asking, or I'm not even talking about sympathy. I'm just saying that, like, I think some people take it for granted how much content there is out there and how much it goes through, like, and how much production goes through it. Like, I'm blessed because the fucking podcast is like shit easy. Like, it's I literally just record it and then upload it. That's it.
Yeah, no editing.
Yeah, the most we got to do is a thumbnail.
Yeah, pretty much. But like, I think it was like slowly trying to branch out with like the gaming side of it, where because again, like, because we haven't uploaded in almost like a week or two.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
coming to 3 actually.
And we're like, oh shit, you know, like, when are we gonna upload next? What are we gonna upload next?
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it's still like there at the back of your head, even though you're having like a little rest.
Yeah,
it will still be there.
And I tell you, like, there's the last thing actually, like, I forgot to mention about not only just streaming but podcasting, YouTubing, everything, is the social media aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like doing Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff is so fucking draining. Like constantly trying to I've said this before, the same expression is you're shouting into the void. You're just shouting and you're just saying to people, like, please look at this. Like, you might like it. Like, and you got to constantly be positive, isn't it? You can't just be like, yeah, come check it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you got to you got to stand out, innit? So it's like, that's draining as well.
Yeah, like there's been times where I'm just like putting a title. I'm like, oh, like, even just like putting a fucking tweet out there or like a title on my stream and just be like, oh, hey, come and say hi. But like, oh, that sounds a bit. No one's really gonna fucking look at that. So I have to like come up with like literally the other day I was like, hi, we're cooking some cheeks on Warzone, whatever, and then, so you have to be creative just because you want to stand out.
Yeah, and what I think a bad habit that comes from Twitch streaming, YouTube, podcasting, everything, is a numbers game. You start watching the numbers rather than the content, and you start going like, oh well, this one got 15 views, this one got like 30. I mean, one of our other videos on the gaming one got 475, and I'm like, what did we do right there? Like, what the fuck? Like, so you start to get bogged down with numbers sometimes.
Yeah.
Rather than just putting out just what you want to do.
Or just be happy.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
you know,
and I think we have been. Like, I mean, that's one of the reasons why we kind of started playing Call of Duty Warzone, is because we wanted to get more viewers as well. Like, and branch out into that. And it's just like, I'm still happy playing it, don't get me wrong. But the first day I was playing it, I was sad.
It was not fun.
No.
Like, honestly, like, because we know how toxic that community is.
Yeah.
Right? And coming from League to that, it's in a way the same.
It's a lateral movement. we moved from there to there, and it's the same.
And it's just like, because we were happy with Tarkov.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Right? But it's, again, because we're streaming, it's always a numbers game.
It's a performance, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's like was it one streamer you said there was like Shroud. It was like, if you're not playing Warzone right now, which is like the hottest game.
Yeah.
You're basically benching yourself.
Yeah, you're limiting yourself because there is no reason why, like, most people are watching Warzone right now.
Yeah.
You know, they're watching this and they're watching that and Pokemon Unite, which is on Switch, so we can't even play that. But do you see what I mean? Like, but you can bet your fucking bottom dollar if that was on PC, I'd be playing it on stream.
Exactly.
Because it's a numbers game. Thanks. Like, and it's just like, not that I don't enjoy what I'm doing, because I still enjoy it, but I do sometimes. Like, not every day, and not all the time, and it's definitely not the majority of the time. But I do get this daunting feeling when I come home from work. It's like, fuck, I got to stream.
Yeah.
Like, and again, I still enjoy doing it, but what I'm scared of is losing time and quality time with other
losing
people.
Passion.
And
also losing passion to the games.
Yeah,
streaming.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because
some people would say like, oh, like, well, just stop then, and it's like, well, that's not the point.
It's not that easy. It's like it's like going to a job that you're required to go to every day, right?
Yeah.
and you just be like, "Hey, yes, by the way, I'm not gonna come in for like a week because I need a break, right?"
Yeah, yeah,
That's your pay. That's a week's pay gone.
yeah, yeah,
You might
exactly.
need for next month
Yeah,
for
yeah,
rent
yeah, yeah.
or for food. So it's like it's not that easy
And in
because
some
of it.
ways, the Twitch, like doing that for Twitch, is completely worse because
Mm,
you lose people. And they
mm,
ain't coming back. Like that's the thing.
mm.
You don't just lose money because we're not earning any money at the moment on that, but you lose a community, which is worse, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
because those are basically your fan base.
yeah, and it's the people that enjoy watching what you're doing,
Yeah,
you know. And I do miss like because I haven't streamed for like I'd say like 2 days. It's coming up to 2 days, even though it's technically only one
yeah.
because we stream like into midnight, so it technically
True,
counts.
true, true. Yeah.
But I miss like some of the viewers that used to, that were talking in my chat and stuff, and they were like, you know, I won't name names, but like they were coming in and they were just like talking and chatting shit and all that stuff, and it's fun to do, you
Yes,
know.
banter.
Yeah, exactly, and like I want to do more of that, and I would like to have a community where they come and watch and you know
And
enjoy
just
what they're seeing, you know.
yeah, and just be like accepted, I guess, in a way
Yeah,
as well.
and
Like
we've made a couple of friends from streaming, like some
that's yeah.
good friends like on even on League, like who some guy like told us his tragic story of his life that turned better, and then
Yes.
and some other people that we'd be playing like Warzone with, and they've been chatting with us, and they're some god sniper, like it's
Yeah.
just like it's stuff like that. It's fun to see, and it's fun to see that there's more people in the world that share your interests, you know.
Yeah, and it's always fun to be interacting with them.
Yeah, and I think that's
The
the key word there is interacting. Like with YouTube, there's
mm,
only so much you can interact with them. It's just comments. But in
yeah,
Twitch,
I,
you can talk to them, you can play games with them, you can do everything with them if you
yeah.
want.
I mean, you have YouTube Live or YouTube Gaming now, but like,
Yeah, but like
exactly.
no disrespect to it, but like I don't watch a very popular streamer like Doctor Disrespect because he's not on Twitch anymore.
Mm,
He's on YouTube. Yeah, I used to watch him all the time,
yeah,
and it's just because the platform has changed, and I'm not on that platform that much to watch that.
yeah.
I don't go on
Plus,
YouTube to watch live stream.
yeah. Plus, like YouTube is like it's supposed to be like videos, not like live streams or anything like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
And I get it. That's them branching out into other communities,
Yeah.
but it's like, it just doesn't have that ring or tone to it.
But it's
That
like it's the thing.
attractive.
It's not like YouTube is doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it to get money. So it's not like do you know what I mean? Like they're branching out because they want to make money.
Business.
Yeah, exactly. So but yeah, no. If you guys want to check out, you know, Raiding Pie, you'll be in the link will be in the description. Come subscribe
Yeah.
to it. We've got very little subscribers right now. Um, but we've been every time we get some good clips on like our Twitch streams or stuff like that, like we try to put them up on there.
Yeah.
And apparently the last video just popped off for no reason.
Some very old videos.
Yeah, yeah. It's you hear Rod when he's like 20, 24 or something.
Oh shit!
But yeah, we're about out of
Yeah,
time. But
yeah, oh shit, nice.
come subscribe, come like,
Yeah.
come
All that good
share us
stuff.
with your friends.
Mhm.
We've got the podcast recording for a very special episode coming out. It's not going to be on
Oh,
this
yes.
channel, but it will be. We will link it and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And let us know if you want us to do like a Black Widow spoiler episode. I think that would be quite interesting. Basically, like our Loki series where we talk about it, but we could talk about our hot takes on Black Widow because, yeah,
We had some before recording. We had some
discussion, and Rod and I have some very spicy opinions about Black Widow, like the film. But yeah, let us know, and we
Yeah.
might just do that one. So
Yeah.
we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, we'll see you maybe Thursday. We'll see if we do the Marvel episode or give it some time.
see, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
Cool.
Peace.
Peace.